This is what happens when you forget to check and see if your camera is reflecting against the sun. Making matters worse is that there's a bunch of wind in this episode, so it's hard to hear us sometimes. And then there's kids playing in the playground and not caring that you're shooting with a camera that can pick up every single piece of audio that it hears. It's crazy. I apologize for the quality of this video. But given the nature of this topic, I didn't feel like it was worth it to ask my friend Darryl in this episode to reshoot the whole thing because it would seem like it was less natural. We knew what we were going to say if we did it a second time. As you can see, Darryl isn't black nor is he white. He's actually Puerto Rican, but he wanted to do this topic and I wanted to get somebody to talk about it. Basically, in my opinion, it's better to get somebody to talk about a controversial issue, whether or not they fit the actual issue itself, than just get somebody who fits the mold and doesn't want to say anything. And by the way, I'm half black, half Puerto Rican, so that's why I wanted to do this episode. Hopefully you can hear what we're saying. I did the best that I could. Yeah, but enjoy.
I've got to take it further! No! Goku! Times
4! It's been a really offensive word for years and years and years now, and it will remain so. And I'm fully behind the idea that as a whole, as the world, if we want to get rid of the word, I'm totally behind that and agree with that. And ultimately what I feel now is that if anybody's going to use it, then we should all use it. It's a word, it's English. If we're saying that one group of people shouldn't say it, then why should anybody say it?
I really do think that the context of the word and what it means is really up to the African American community. I do think that anybody else really shouldn't be saying it, particularly whites. Especially whites, they have no right to say it. And you say to yourself, oh, well, why should one race be able to say it, one not? Well, one is the fact that, it's been very clear to me that, as races, we're not equal. We're getting closer to equal, but we're never going to be. There are going to be differences between the two of us, between many races. And, just have to accept that. And the nigger word is an example of the differences. In a way, I feel as though using it as a term of endearment is a way to try and get rid of some of the negativity behind that
statement.
Take it back. So, yeah, take it back.
It's sillier to limit who can say a word when it is a word that if I'm white and I'm at home, I'm going to use whether you like it or not, and there's nothing you can do about it. And the only reason I feel ever hesitant to say it around a person who is African American is because then I got to deal with the shit of having to talk to them about it and go through something that may turn out to be fruitful and a conversation like we're having now, or may turn into something stupid and physical because of the things that you're talking about that are connected to it. Now, the issue that I take slightly with what you're saying is that you're saying that it's almost a form of reparation for the African American community to take the word and decide how it's used.
Yeah.
Okay? And I can see that. However, if we're talking about oppression and what the word nigger represents, then it's using the same energy. It's saying that now that we have a stance and a voice, we're going to tell you that you can't say this, and we're going to tell you that you cannot use this word, whether you like it or not. Now, the issues are obviously somebody who is white doesn't know. Truly, you're right. Actually, anybody who's in a different situation than the African American community, none of them could speak as intellectually about it as an African American. Okay, with ties to that and feelings surrounded with that. The problem is, the reason that we're having these conversations and that nigger is still a big problem and so is racism, is that we keep perpetuating this energy. Perpetuating this energy that African Americans need to be this way, Caucasians need to be this way, all the other races kind of fall somewhere in between. Ambiguously, we're not going to mention which side they're on, if there are sides, and that's all very silly. And I think it's a little bit too late with regard to where we are as a species to still be putting so much energy behind whether or not we can use a word. Don't you feel like restricting white people from using the word is perpetuating us as a species constantly dividing things and looking at things in the way they contrast as opposed to compare.
The word nigger is just one element of, the whole, like, tension between white and
racial
blacks.
tension.
There's many other things. There's the interracial dating aspect. There's the just the psychological aspect of knowing that blacks were once oppressed. There's affirmative action. There's so many other things that cause that tension that I just don't feel as though doing anything about the word nigger from the standpoint in which I currently see it, or changing that philosophy, will do enough to ease the tension or aid to the tension. The minute that I can feel as though I can get a job based solely on my, credentials and not what my last name is, the minute that I feel like I can go up to a girl and, feel as though I'm being judged based off of my personality and not, what
beef.
Ethnical stereotypes there are in place. The minute I feel as though everything that I do is just based off of my character and not off of the color of my skin or my name, then by all means, white people can say whatever the hell they want.
Right.
But until then, no. I don't even want to get into what it's like if you're half black, half white. That's kind of
The rules are complex on that one.
Let's just stick to like you're black, white. Anyways, thank you for showing up today.
Thank you for having me, my man. This is really cool.
This is good. I'm Angel Dodger, and I will see you next time.
If you like this episode, check out my most recent episode on the left, which was a 50th episode celebration and discussed the top 5 episodes of Angel Dodger up to that point. Also check out my video in the middle, which discusses whether or not our society has truly come to accept interracial dating. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.